Hi, what's up, YouTube? So here I have a going second version of Mannadium. I talked about this previous video, but I don't think this version is as good because the problem is you're going to hard lose to Max C, right? If your opponent's got Max C, you might as well not even try to play, just scoop right there. But the issue is that I'm running into Master Duel, and with Master Duel is if you don't get Max Seed and someone's playing any other decent deck, it's very hard to break their deck without some of these board breakers. So this version of the deck is way better. This is like insane. This deck, you can beat any board going second if you're going first, and you don't get. It doesn't matter if you get interrupted. Like if you just don't get Max Seed, I don't care if I get shifted or if I get nibbed, whatever. They have to have either 4 hand traps or Max C to beat this deck. But if they don't have Max C or 4+ hand traps, I'm beating anyone going first. I'm pretty much beating anyone going second for sure. Again, as long as they don't have Max C. So I do have the 2 call by for it, but still, it's not enough for this. So why this deck is better than the other one I have to be prepared for Max C is I have pretty much the same ratios as before. 3 Meek, 3 Rykard, 3 Rimheart. Especially in the going second version, you definitely want 3 Rykard. If you're playing a going first version, you can get it with 2, but if this is like a going second version, 3 is huge just because that gives you an extra way to dodge targeted effects. Right? Because you go Rykard, summon that to add a rival. If they try to target it, then just Rimheart to pop it. Definitely 3 Samsara, whether you're going first or second, you always gotta have 3 of this. Again, 1 Visa Starfrost just because you have so much access to it, and this is a best of 1 format, so you're not going to need the extra Visa Starfrost to shuffle to search. If you can't shuffle them back off a Disbatter or off of Samsara, you're really only going to need 1 anyways. And plus, because Draw and Lockbird's not a big thing, you only need the 1 because if Draw was more important and more used, then again I would say running 2 is better. Same ratios with the horse stuff. You don't need the third name just because Draw and Lockbird's not used that much, but this is good enough that you can get the end board with Photon Lord plus one of the names. Most of the time, like I said, I like Dumbledore as my end piece over Happy because I'm drawing cards, but depending on my board, if I pretty much used everything in the deck and I just want to have a way to recycle stuff back, then Happy's better for that. But if my board wasn't as good of an end board, then Domitov is better because it's getting draws. Just like before, 3 talents. 3 talents is huge because it not only is an extender while you're going first through hand traps, but an amazing board breaker if you want to take a monster. Same ratios with Arrival, the Imaginings and the Obsidians, and definitely going second. You probably don't need the Rumble as much, but it can come up, and plus, I still want to go. I'm not going to choose to go second with this deck. I'm still, if I win the coin, not dice roll, but if I win the coin flip, I'm going first every time with this. Mannadium's best at going first for sure. Two field spells, still that, just because being able to add a second one as a discard material is great. Only the 1 per Reno, 3 Clam, best field spell in the deck, probably best spell, and then 3 King Sarks. 2 call by just because you got it, right? That's your, I would never use this on Ash for sure, especially since I have no Ash or Gamma in this deck. I'm just saving that for Max C. If they didn't Max C me at all, then I'll just save it to set it down, to use during their turn. So here's the main board breaker. So the difference in this deck is instead of having the 3 Ash and Gamma to stop Max C, obviously the talents was in both decks, but now I have the 3 Droplet and the 3 Imperv. Imperv, a lot of going second versions of Mannadium, I see them running enemy control instead, but Imperv is so much better because Imperv, you use Imperv first to negate something, and then if they try to negate the Imperv with like Baron or whatever negate, then you chain Droplet to send the Imperv plus everything else. So when you use Droplet and you're sending a trap plus a monster plus a spell, they can't respond with anything. So they can't reframing negate it or whatever, or Vor I think it is. Let me see. Vor. I think that's right here. So Salmon Great Vor cannot respond to to droplet if you send if you're sending the actual imperv off of it. So if you know that they have this set already, then there's no point of imperv first because they're just going to negate it with war. But in that case, I would use droplet right away. But still, if you don't know or you don't think they have a counter trap, then just use imperv first and then send it off of droplet. So you're getting a guaranteed 2 negates there. But if I'm using droplet, I'm sending for sure at least a spell and a monster, if not a trap too. So I'm going to show some combos on both decks, but they're going to be pretty much the same, just kind of showing what I kind of set up and how I'm going to break through boards. But this is definitely the better version of the deck. The only problem is Max C existed. So if Max C didn't exist, then I'd probably be more worried about more about Droll, and if it was Droll and Lockbird, then a lot of decks were playing. So if Max C ever got banned, for sure everyone's gonna be maining Droll and Lockbird. And in that case, the thing I would change in this deck is I would add him for sure. So I'd still keep the deck for sure at 45, but I would add him, and I'd probably, let's see where to cut. Maybe cut the Impervs, but I definitely add the 4th name, and I'd still probably keep it 1 Visa Starfrost. I don't know what I'd cut for that, but I might cut one of the Impervs, to tell you the truth. But you gotta have 2 call by for sure. I mean, if there's no way to not have that. But I don't. It doesn't matter even talk about because they're never gonna do that. Maxi is never gonna be banned in this. The only time they're gonna ban Maxi is when the Moke Shamans come out. All right. So, anyways, stay tuned. I'm gonna post another video about just showing a combo line and just playing against a computer for doing a comboing with both Mannadium decks. And then of course I'll have videos on posting about playing the deck live, which I already have plenty of videos on my profile about playing with this deck live.